Today we need to talk about Jungkook ending all the rumors once and for all. He addressed something armies were very curious about. I also want to get into the recent controversy with Lizzo and how people are bringing BTS into this. And then I want to get into a clip recorded of Jisoo and what happened. So hey Dumplings, Dave decide hater or not, make sure you subscribe with the notification bell on. Grab your dumpling, tasting merch, and let's go. We need to talk about Jisoo and her recent dating story. So apparently she is dating now, and this is a big story. I think most of the fandom and people over on X have been all extremely supportive of everything. I've seen nothing but very positive comments. Dispatch recently announced the couple of Jisoo and Hyun, and that the two have only been dating recently for the last 3 months. Also, Hyun is also an actor, and they probably met when Jisoo was doing Snowdrop. And I don't think he was in the show, but there is definitely a chance Jisoo met him maybe during the promotion of the show or during the parties that were held. And many actors were then invited to attend. That news was shocking, as I think most people weren't expecting this, but maybe expecting her to be dating her co-star in Snowdrop, or maybe hoping that she would date her co-star. This never ended up happening, obviously, but when the co-star named Jung In found out about the news, he responded saying that he had no idea the two were together, and that he wishes them a happy and healthy relationship. People thought that maybe Jung In had played Cupid, but he said that he was actually clueless and usually not interested in people's relationships. So he probably never asked Jisoo if she was dating anyone. I thought this news being confirmed by Dispatch was odd because this time it seemed like YG and Hyun's label were both quick and okay with confirming the news. They basically said that the two were dating and that they hope we as the fans will look after them warmly. Now this is an interesting dynamic because Jisoo is not only a K-pop star but an actress. Korean actresses get treated very differently from K-pop idols. Idols are not allowed to date. They're supposed to seem ungodly beautiful and untouchable, and then at the same time super relatable and touchable. Whereas Korean actors are seen as more normal. Actors are naturally supposed to be relatable, which makes them interesting to watch in movies, and a lot of Korean fans are happy to see the actor and actresses date, and especially happy when it's the person in the K-drama. And then the story in the K-drama can seem more real. So that part is similar to American celebrities where two actors can date and it can drum up more publicity. Whereas K-pop stars dating is a career-ending scandal. It's interesting that I am seeing Jisoo get the latter treatment and not the K-pop idol treatment. Most people are pretty happy. It was very interesting to see this clip and photo being reported of the two together, and people saying all this because I think for the longest time, people were assuming that the BLACKPINK girls were probably dating BTS, but this goes to show that idols are human beings and don't always just think about their career and fame. Once you have enough fame and money to satisfy you, then you start caring about other things outside of yourself. And at that point, money and fame don't really matter. So Jisoo likely has more money and fame compared to Hyun, which means she's not looking to date him to social climb. I love that idols are more able to be themselves and address things more openly. I think this is a good sign of more acceptance to come. Jungkook has addressed a big rumor that has circulated heavily. This rumor that came out about a long time ago, and Jungkook maybe just had enough of the speculation and decided to answer it. Recently during a live stream, Jungkook, if you are not aware, was speculated to be Muslim or Buddhist. The reason why is because I think at one point, Jungkook talked about fasting, and then he also showed him allegedly praying or meditating. This was during the BTS reality show In the Soup. The premise of the show is that there's security cameras everywhere and they record what BTS will do throughout their day. We get to see them do very fun things throughout the day, and I love it. We react to the episodes over on Patreon. We do have a $1 tier with limited spots, so if you're interested in having fun, fangirling, and laughing over there, or laughing over these cute reality TV moments, come and join us there. I'll link the Patreon in the description. There were also moments where Jungkook was seen wearing more religious jewelry, but this rumor was very big, and a lot of people wondered what his religion actually was. Religion is a big question, and one reason why Jungkook may not want to address this before is that addressing a religion can isolate people. There's definitely people who wouldn't be happy hearing that Jungkook is one religion versus another. I know for something like Christianity, it basically says you can only worship that God and not anyone else. There's probably very low tolerance for someone not in that religion for many specific armies that happen to be very religious, right? So it's never a good idea to address these things. However, during a recent live stream, Jungkook was asked and he answered. He says he does not have a religion and his father is actually Christian, but his mother is a Buddhist. However, both parents never pressured him or pushed him into a specific religion. And so growing up, he never actually picked one. He probably did get to see both sides a little bit, and maybe he couldn't choose one or didn't resonate with a specific one. So Jungkook ended up saying that he might be either agnostic or atheist. And then, of course, this would isolate a select few really religious people in the fandom, but it's the truth. And being honest, it's probably the most important thing, I would say. I'm glad he addressed this, and I think it's better to take out to the fans that won't support you over these things, right off the bat. So for example, there's fans that love BTS but are homophobic. It's best to just rid those fans right off the bat. And BTS has enough LGBT content that exists, either in Seven Fates or even Jungkook in Left and Right, that would be enough content to push any anti-LGBT people away from BTS. And so sometimes isolating a select group of people is fine if you're not really wanting those people in the fandom anyway. Jungkook is such a kind person and would always choose to address things in a nice way. It's up to you if you still want to support him and if his beliefs are a deal breaker for you. But there's a lot of people that really love him. People were trying to look out for him after some recent controversy with Lizzo. I'll explain how this relates, but let me give some backstory here. Recently, Lizzo has been in a big controversy over her alleged treatment with her employees and backup dancers. There's accusations of harassment, there's accusations of fat shaming, and this is all very shocking because Lizzo's brand is built off of kindness and being confident. So I think this is why those claims were so shocking. I'm not going to get into those specific claims and issues. You can read those on your own, but there were a lot of overtly alleged sexual things that Lizzo allegedly had her dancers do or other employees. Lizzo did put out a statement to claim that none of that actually happened and felt sad that her character was put into question. She basically said that she wouldn't fat shame and all that stuff, and I don't know what to believe right now. But we'll see what happens as there's a lawsuit happening. So we'll know the answer eventually. But this is not the bit that concerned armies. Back a little while ago, BTS and Lizzo met during a Harry Styles concert. They met for a brief moment in the audience, and they ended up taking a photo together. This actually made huge headlines, mainly because Lizzo has also talked about being a big fan of BTS for a little bit. There was also a clip that went away back when Lizzo was asked to react to BTS, and she made a joke about not being able to make it through a studio session with all of the BTS members without having sex with all of them. Of course, she immediately went to say that this was a joke and apologized for making a joke about it. At the time, it was definitely funny to me as well. And I am sure BTS being men and absolute rock stars, they're used to girls and people talking about how absolutely gorgeous they are. And Lizzo said this way before BTS and Lizzo met at the Harry Styles concert. So it was clear that this comment never bothered the boys. However, since the recent controversy with Lizzo, there's been speculation about how Lizzo was backstage and if she did anything to BTS members. However, I do highly doubt she did anything really bad or acted in a really disgusting way. First off, the boys are already with security, so it would be unlikely Lizzo or anyone would even get the opportunity to do anything bad without being stopped fast. And then the boys were not in a position where they couldn't just walk away if anything happened. Above all else, I highly doubt Lizzo would risk doing anything publicly, as she knew a lot of people were recording and snapping photos of both of them. People were scared that Jungkook was going to get emotional and then come out with some statements on Lizzo, as well as her former employees have, but I don't think BTS members' experiences were the same as Lizzo employees. If the situation is real and the accusations are real, it would never happen with someone on the same level as the artist or someone above them. That's usually not how it happens. So the chance of BTS ever getting caught in that is low. I want to also specify these rumors are still just rumors and nothing is confirmed. I'm not going to discredit anyone's story, and I'm definitely not trying to push a rumor that isn't proven yet. So we shall see what happens next. Let me know what you think. Make sure to check out my Patreon for more videos. Link down below. Thanks for this lovely comment right here. Love you. Bye.